What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 56 of my Total Warhammer 3 modded Kroq-Gar campaign. So as we saw last time, we took out Xhotl with Kanos Kier, who demonstrated, or at least Dicky Dick, demonstrated the power of the lore of the beasts, specifically when dealing with the vampire coast, which was pretty enjoyable, and we'll probably be making more use of it this episode as Luther Harkin is defending their new capital at the Blood Swamps, and they do have a decent amount of units there, which I guess we will be fighting. We also have a massive number of peasants that we've got to destroy with Gorog here, though I guess we'll move everybody around. First, let's have you try to steal tech from Chocolate. Whoa. Let's say 50%. I don't like that. But it can't reach anything else. Alright, do it anyway. I have to re-level you up, though. You can't get specialists, so let's go steal tech. Try not to die, friendo. Hey, he succeeded and he didn't die. Good job, little guy. You get mini pets. Alright, mini because it's over the campaign map. Anyway, that looks good to me. Let's see what moves we need to make, but we got battles aplenty to take, so let's try to move towards them. Hydroxy 2. Electric Boogaloo. Go to this mysterious island, see if we can't get anything neat for free here. And press garbage. Absolute garbage, but oh well. Anything else? A Remnants of Battle is a battle, so we can't do that. This is a fell cargo, and this is a shipwreck. This is another shipwreck. I think fell cargo might also, in theory, be non-battle. I'm not 100% on it. Just go there and check. If it's a battle, just move away. Mazda Mundi. We're gonna march stance you now, and we're going to send you closer to Swamp Town. If these guys just continue staying here, I don't know why, but if they want to do that, we can sail out and hit them in the sea. Oh, they're probably recruiting. They're in an expansion, mustering. Yeah. Makes sense. But we might still be able to hit them. Hopefully they don't then decide to go around and go after the Monument of the Moon after all. It would be quite annoying if that is the case. Anyway, let's see what else we got to do here. Start with the heroes. Okay, no, we can't start with the heroes because we did all the heroes. Fair enough. Pyakador, I guess you could continue recruiting some more skinks for Mazda. He doesn't really need them, but, well, I mean, he does right now. Yeah, you know what? Fine, do it. Just because they're cheap and they're available, and the fact is it'll be a while before Mazda gets his main army. Speaking of his main army, Recruiter Locke, you have to get his Bastillodons. Now, he's going to be using Basties with solar engines, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He buffs them. And there's Beam of Chotek, and Hexoatl is, after all, the City of the Sun. Let's do that. That puts us at 14. 15 if we count the Regiment of Renown. 16, 17 if we count the 2 Saurus Scarvets that are going to be in there. So we have room for 3 units, which means 1, 2, 3. There we go, perfect. That's a lot of Basties, but yeah, that'll be a lot of power for those Temple Guards, and with Mazda's buffs to Basties with Solar Engine, it should work quite well. I'm not crazy, right? He buffs Stegs and Basties range, does he not? Sacred Beastkeepers, range to Basties and Stegodon. Yes, Beams of Chotek will be quite effective with him. Alrighty, well that's good, though it did take a lot of our cash. I guess we can cancel some of those, but I don't feel like it, so we're not gonna. We got, oh, the Razor Dawn hunting packs actually have alignments that they can use. I did not know that, or at least I didn't think it was the case. For the love of... I really wish it didn't do that. Exceptional Protection, Expert Charge Defense, and 15% damage resistance. And it's pretty decent. Or we could use them with a little bit of extra melee attack, eh? I mean, I feel like if we end up sending them into combat, we'd probably get better mileage out of the damage resistance, and the expert charge defense protects them from getting killed by cavalry charges, at least a little bit. So we're gonna go with the Warpaint of Talashla this time around. Alrighty. And I'm excited to use the Razor Dons a little bit more since we haven't had a chance to do anything other than the Amexon Barb. Now, we're going to do a real quick battle here with Kroq-Gar. I'm gonna do this manually real quick, just to once again prevent the casualties. Oh, I will be so happy once the damn plague is gone. It's such an annoying mechanic to deal with. Especially when you don't have much in the way of capability of reducing the attrition, but generally speaking, especially for certain armies, it just basically makes your army completely useless for a number of turns. And while it's bad on most factions, it's the worst on the dwarfs who have no easy way of healing. They're, for those watching the Belegar campaign, you know the woes and the trouble of having a decent amount of casualty replenishment on them. Imagine dealing with 1 billion plagues. Anyway, let's move you all back here, far and away. Ooh, I like this city. That looks quite nice, and nicely blends into the mountains, but that's Cathan architecture in general, but it's quite nice. Start deployment. I love it. A lovely map. And we'll probably be seeing a few more of these as we continue to play. Anyway, once again, we'll be sending the dinos in. I'll do it at max speed again, because we need to. Start battle, and go. Max speed, charge, 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 friendos. Oh good, all the beasts of Nurgle are together. You buff everybody up, head that healing crystal in here, and we'll want to pop a Curse of the Midnight Wind on all of these guys, and then speed it up to max again. And there we go. Let's also pop main. Ooh, you, get away from there. Be close enough, but don't get damaged. I was going to say maybe cast a spell on these guys somewhere. So, maybe. Alright, really gotta watch out for them attacking our healing crystal. That's really the only concern, but it looks okay. You, use your Hand of the Gods on, I don't know, these guys don't really matter. Alright, I guess we could watch them a little bit as well. We'll just fly a teensy bit. We'll also move Lord Kroq in just to do some damage. It'll probably take him a while to get here, but why not? Maybe he'll reach here by the time we fight. I just want to see a few action shots of all this happening, and then we'll speed it right back up to max afterwards. Did you use your Hand of the Gods? You did not. He might be incapable of using it at close combat like this. It depends. Is he just going to sit there trying to cast and failing? Yeah, the game does have a tendency to do this. Yeah, he's not going to use it. Don't bother. Just attack. It'll be easier to do it this way. Alrighty, you know what? Let's also speed this up. Comet of Cassandora right there. Crocky, you're gonna take a little bit of a hit there, but whatever. And that'll probably complete the battle. More or less, anyway. And let's get another Wind Blast going through these as well. There's that Comet, and down goes those units, and yeah, let's just speed it up to max until the battle ends. Ah, huh. Did I accidentally send these guys in? My bad. Alright, there we go. And with that, the battle is ours. Oh. There is another unit all the way up here. In fact, it's several units, the cultists. Alright, we just have to get close to them. And they'll disappear as soon as we get to them, or they'll break. And watch that leadership melt as soon as they sight us, and there we go. They see those Croxies come, or Croxies, not Croxagors, but Carnosaurs coming. And they run. A little bit of damage on our Basti with Reviv Crystal. Really got to be careful with that thing. I think next battle we will, if we need to do this again, as in if the Plague is re-upped, we're going to not send the Basti with Reviv Crystal to fight. Just keep it back while the rest of these guys fight instead. And then we can heal them up afterwards. Alright, come on now. I can't wait for the Plague to be over so we can at least do some auto-resolving. The auto-resolve still hates the Reviv Crystals, so it's still annoying, but at the very least, we won't have to be constantly worried about losing units to Plague. Occupy the place? Huh, we could loot and occupy it. We're gonna be transferring this place over anyway. I wonder if this will actually heal the Reviv Crystal. I feel like it won't, but I could be wrong. Nah, just occupy it, screw it. Alright, settlement receives Plague. Chiong, did you get a new Plague? You did not. Okay, so what I want you to do then is get out of the settlement and then go into channeling stance. A, to not waste money, and B, so that hopefully we don't get the Rot Plague. We got one more turn on this one, so hopefully we can get the heck out of here. And then be plagueless for a while. Does anybody else have a Scary Plague? I don't see... Palsy, was it? No, it's the Flux. Okay, we gotta make sure not to get the Flux again. I don't see it on anybody. We got it from Kugath, didn't we? Does he have... Huh. Wait, does he even have any territories remaining? Was that the last? That was the last. Oh. So his faction is done. He's going to try to reclaim Qiang, but that's not going to work. Well, isn't that lovely? Alright, well, we won't be dealing with these plagues, hopefully, for much longer. There will be potentially Skaven plagues in the future, but, well, the future isn't now. Contrary to what some would have you believe. Anyway, Gorgazan, let's get that iron mining pit up and running, but I don't think we need to invest in it. Otherwise, we don't have a lot of money to invest in general. Yeah, minus 20% upkeep, not bad. Only for this province, mind you, but still. Probably pointless to upgrade it, at least for now, though, but we can upgrade the skink favelas, and... I guess we'll keep the sacred spawning caverns for now. Qiang, you're just going to get transferred to our Cathayan friends so they don't die. Xhotl, what do you have again? Hero recruit rank for skink chiefs. I wish it would at least give us one capacity. Kind of an inferior settlement. For some reason, the landmarks for the Lizardmen, or at least in vanilla, the landmarks for the Lizardmen are kind of garbage. It's a little bit sad. Most of them. And I get that there's a lot of them in Lustria, which is probably why they're garbage, but it's kind of meh. Not a big deal, mind you. They're just bonuses, but still. Let's see, Gorok, I believe it's your time to shine, my friend. There's about 1 million peasants to kill. Do we have... We only have the 1 level. Do we really care about 1 level? Probably not. I think you're fine. Anybody here a high enough level to need anything? Skink Chief, let's just check the Skink Priest because, yes, okay, so he actually needs to get levels because he's casting. I wasn't necessarily going to keep the Cunning Skink Priest, mind you, but there's still stuff to get here. Like so, the good spells. You probably won't need Curse of Honor here against the Peasants. In fact, against the Peasants in particular, Flock of Doom is going to come in very handy. We do want to be able to overcast... Oh, we already get access to Wissen's Wild Form Overcast. Alright, fine, then that's Flock of Doom all the way. Just too good not to get. Alrighty, and the rest of them can just hold off on the upgrades. You're only here to replenish the troops. Gorok, time to strike. Let's move you in right here. Well, I guess we can put you into Battle March stance for now. And away we go. Alrighty, last battle of Bordeleaux with many a peasant to be slain. Can't wait to see how the the Pterodon Riders clean house, but also the Soras as well. Here we go. Alrighty, here we go. The besties are in and they've got a good meal ahead of them. There are just so many peasants guarding the place, and we are going to start off by summoning a unit of feral cold ones on top of some of the peasant bowmen. The reason for this being that there is an enemy tower that we do need to bring down, but the bowmen do threaten our Pterodon Riders with Fireleech Bolas, so we'll have to be careful. In the meantime, the Pale Death is going to lead and start moving in and annoying the enemy Pistoliers and Yeomen here. Otherwise, the Basties are much slower, but they are going to move in as well, and Gorok will bring up the rear shortly. The rest of our army is also going to move in, but we are just taking a little bit of extra time to make sure that we bring down the towers, and at least a decent amount of the enemy bowmen, so that our units aren't threatened by that. Alrighty, and the Fireleech Bolas are in, and it looks like the enemy's taking a few shots at us with that Prophetess of Beasts. I think that was an Amber Spear. Not a spell we've seen a lot from our own side, mind you, but... Alrighty, and I did make a little bit of a mistake here while moving the Pterodon Riders around. I accidentally misclicked on one of the enemy units and they dropped down into melee. I obviously tried to get them the heck out of there immediately. As we can see, they're trying to move. And yeah, the problem is that they're aerial units and they do just love to get stuck. They're also going to get charged by the enemy Knights Errant here. which will certainly not make it easy for them to escape. But oh well, what can you do? Sometimes it happens. The reason they were in melee mode is because I was going to have them attack the tower, and then rather than clicking the tower, I clicked the units below them. So these guys are definitely taking damage, even with the Pan's Impenetrable Pelt overcast on them to try to help them out. Alright, well, we can see if they can escape. In the meantime, the Pterodon Riders may be having something of a bad day, but nothing is like the bad day that a general peasant has. Not even talking about them having a bad day here, just every single day. Poor peasants. Alrighty, well, that's going to be their problem. And perhaps being eaten by the dinos is the better thing anyway. Alrighty, the rest of our Pterodon Riders are moving in. They want to try to help out the Fire Leech Bolas that got trapped. They are very close to dying now, and we're going to move our reinforcing Fire Leech Bolas in to try to drop bombs on the enemy. And just try to clear a path. Alrighty, there is a Lure of Beasts Lock of Doom coming down, and there's the bombs coming down on the enemy. It looks like it is quite a bit of damage. Darn that thing. In the way, quite a bit of damage, and these guys are at least very badly damaged now, and it looks like our Pterodon Riders did manage to get out. Just barely so, but did manage to get out. So good job to them. In the meantime, the dinos are now finally supported by some Saurus. And there's going to be a lot more peasants to kill. I'm actually shocked that these peasants have not just routed. I mean, they've been holding the line here against Gorok and Blessed Saurus and just a pile of dinos as well, including the Pale of Death, which causes terror for quite a while. And they do no damage, and they stand no chance against any of this. So it is very surprising that they haven't routed. I suppose they find safety in numbers, however, because there's just so many more of them here, and even more coming in onto the field. In fact, we're keeping a few units back just because we were going to want them to chase some enemy units down. Speaking of chasing some enemy units down, we also have a Skink Chief in here somewhere. A single unit, he is right there. And we're going to have him chase down the enemy Prophetess, who's hovering over our army and dropping the occasional Amber Spear. Wasn't really expecting her to do too much, but since she's going to stay in the air, that might be something for our Skink Chief to do, who should be able to win the combat. Anyway, the anti-peasant initiative here continues. We gotta hack them up after all, so that we can feed the dinos some nice tasty morsels. About 100 peasants per dino here. Actually, probably more like 1,000 peasants per dino, considering we have like 5,000, more like 2,000 peasants per dino. Alrighty, well, we are in it. The Ark of Sotek is probably, as usual, going to be doing massive amounts of damage. Yeah, already 40k damage on this thing, and 270 kills. You gotta love the Arks of Sotek, and this is another reason why I keep wanting to put them in these armies. I remember my old Throg campaign, and then finding out that the Bile Trolls have a Mortis Engine effect, and just wanting to put them, at least a couple of them, in most armies, because that Mortis Engine effect is just so good. As in an AoE damage effect. And the same thing, obviously, for the Ambassador with Ark of Sotek, who is now at 317 kills and 46.5k damage. Looks like a decent amount of the enemy are fleeing before us, but we've still got a fair few to work through. Yeah, definitely good job to the peasants. Alright, well, I can hardly complain. I did not expect to enjoy this battle nearly as much as I am here. I was actually expecting to auto-resolve this, but this was quite fun. Man, imagine if they had some Grail Reliques and a couple more elite units to help out the sheer numbers of the units that they have. It's like fighting Skaven almost. Pale Death is having a grand time, though. Don't care about being blind when you're literally surrounded on every side by meals. Alrighty, well done to the dinos, and of course everybody's keeping nice and healthy due to the Reviv Crystal. The Lizardmen have some pretty decent healthcare. Alrighty, the Saurus are also holding back some enemy knights, as well as, hey, who guessed it, more peasants. But these are Blessed Saurus, and I really doubt that anybody here is going to break through them. And at the same time, we've been dropping Flocks of Doom on the enemy. The Skink Chief has finally found the enemy Prophetess and will be trying to chase her down. I just want to see where our own caster is. Should be in here somewhere. There he is. He's got 268 kills and nearly 60k damage as well. Very nice. Ooh. And we got some foot squires who have moved around, headed back up the ramp that we came up, and have decided to charge our Blessed Saurus in the back. That's cute. They still stand absolutely no chance, but hey, at least they're trying. Oh, there's ones in the light here, a little bit easier to see from this angle. There we go. We've been seeing a lot of action from the dinos. Will be nice to see a little bit from the Saurus as well. Especially against the best infantry unit that the enemy has to offer. Obviously not much to say about this tactically. We're still in blob tactics form just around our Reviv Crystal, but with the enemy with no recourse to dealing with those Reviv Crystals. There's no reason to ever leave them, especially since the enemy will not be having any more magical support as the Skink Chief has finally chased down the enemy Prophetess. I imagine that the second Prophetess will also move onto the field shortly, and there's another one right there, but we will be chasing them down as well. And there's still a decent amount of peasants, man. How many peasants can we kill? There's like 10,000 of them on the field, right? It is a fair few. If only we had some Kadai Fireborn on our side, they would make quick work of most of this. Oh man, just imagine a couple Dreadquake mortars. Definitely have to... I think one of the great additions with the Chaos Dwarfs is not even just the Chaos Dwarf faction itself, which is pretty fun, but a lot of factions will benefit so much from the outposts of the Chaos Dwarfs and getting access to some of their units. It'll be very nice. Obviously, by and large for Chaos, but I imagine for things like Ogres as well. And probably at least some Skaven, even though the two don't like each other, but just judging by the fact that they by and large have the same enemies, it is still probably fairly viable. Anyway, we have a Lord Shultep hunting down the other Prophetess over on this side. This Prophetess has still not moved onto the field, even though Wenki Lan is still waiting to try to attack, but that's fine. I don't imagine the enemy is going to have too much leadership left after all three lords have died. Yeah, Prophetess versus Carnosaur riding Saurus Scarvet is not a great matchup. Anyway, down goes the enemy lord. We also have our regular Saurus with spears, the unshielded ones fighting, but even they are not threatened by peasants. Plus, they're hungry, which just motivates them to kill harder. It's actually nice to see the Saurus with spears, the regular Saurus with spears, doing a little bit more fighting. And hey, the regular peasant mob is running away, only to be replaced by another peasant mob, this time of men-at-arms. Though we're hardly concerned, these guys, and by these guys I mean our Saurus, do not have a Reviv Crystal near them, as both of the Reviv Crystals are staying near the main mob around Gorok and the rest of our dinos, so these guys could, in theory, actually get hurt. In practice, as we can see, we've lost, by the looks of it, 1 so far. Well, yeah, they're pretty darn buffed. I mean, 53, 51's pretty darn good, and 52 armor, and we're gonna get them even further buffed. Hey, and then finally the third Prophetess has arrived onto the field, and Wenki Lan will be chasing her down. Looks like the battle will be ours finally, fairly shortly, as the balance of power is at about 90%. Just a few more peasants to kill. And hey, we have a few of our Fire Leech Bolas to help out with that, though they are trying to focus down other units so that they don't kill our Saurus, as they're probably more dangerous to the Saurus than the enemy is anyway. But a few shots into that is still pretty hilariously effective. And oh wow, more peasants! Oh man, I don't think we've ever felt this outnumbered even when fighting the Skaven before. Outnumbered and yet not in any way threatened. Just kind of an odd situation, but nonetheless. Anyway, with that, though the enemy still had numbers on the field, a decent amount of units with reasonably full HP by the looks of it, the rest of the army will shatter. They should have realized at this point that they had absolutely no chance. Looks like Wenkilan did manage to probably rout or shatter the enemy lord before the battle ended as well. And it does look like the enemy lord is dead as well. Well done, buddy. He waited for the entire battle to do that, but hey, it looks like it was worth the wait as he did hunt down his target. You get pets for that. You were very patient. Alrighty, anyway, let's speed it up as we chase down whatever else we can, mostly because we're going to have to still auto-resolve at least some of these enemy armies. I still contend that they should have put like a slan in here or something. I'll go a little Easter egg inside the pyramid or something. Not necessarily a slan, but something. Wasted opportunity, damn it. Although I suppose the... Would the game have to render it? No, probably not until you got close like this, yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna chase stuff down because while we will take the settlement, there are a couple of armies outside and they will most likely survive. Not the prophetess that was by herself, but one of the other armies did have enough units. And while this means that this faction is destroyed, they could still attack us and try to siege us. But it'll still be auto-resolvable by the looks of it, since most of the enemy is dead, and at the end of the day, they're all still just peasants. Man, 9.3 thousand peasants. That's nearly 10k peasants. That's pretty darn good. I am gonna give credit where it's due. It took much longer to get through the sheer number of peasant mobs than I was expecting. I think that these guys really needed some Grail reliques to make the peasants quite a bit better, but alas, they didn't build them. Also, the prospect of 9.3 thousand peasants just makes me salivate at the concept of the amount of labor the Chaos Dwarfs could have acquired from all this. Anyway, we lost 16 units, pretty much all of the losses from my dumb mistake of one misclick and sending the Pterodon Riders into melee where they got stuck, and then we lost the units from. Not a big deal, mind you, but oh well. They'll heal up to full, I'm sure. This is pretty much the end of Bordeleaux as well. We're gonna occupy... Oh, if we loot and occupy, we'd probably heal to full just like that, but it's one of our territories. We'll take it back. I remember when they took it from us, and now we've taken it back. Kylok has Fencer's Blades. I think he can keep them for now. Manspawn Sacrifice as well, and Guanji Valley is now entirely ours. Alignment to monuments, please, and leave the settlement so that you do not... get sieged. I imagine these guys will attack anyway at the settlement, and then they will die, and Bordeleaux will be destroyed. But yeah, that battle took much longer than I was expecting. We probably no longer have time for a big fight against Luther Harkin. Honestly, it may not even be worth fighting. Yeah, he does have some units in here, but other than Luther himself, this army is essentially identical to the army that we fought. In fact, being a garrison, I think it is exactly identical to the army that we fought here, and we took basically no losses fighting it. Maybe it would just be worth it to auto-resolve it instead. Especially since we've already seen the, consequences of this fight. Pyrrhic victory, but medium casualties. They have no chance. Just take them out. Well, let's see what we have left. Yeah, more damage than we'd like, but certainly not that much damage. We're gonna occupy the place, and then we'll heal up. And certainly by the time we reach another enemy, we will have healed to full. We can't leave the settlement though, because we will have taken attrition damage if we do, but that's Mosquito Swamp Sours. Let's get that alignment to monuments. Incidentally, what's our research rate? 721. It's not bad. Still gotta try to get it up to 1,000 somehow. I wonder if we can... Well, we probably won't be able to reach 1,000 before the endgame scenario arrives, but it is what it is. Now, let's see what we've got in terms of enemies here. So we are able to reach Montenas, and we are able to reach Nuja, whatever. Let us see. Koal, go there. I want to see if it has a full stack in it. These guys might be running away, or there might be an Icket here. Nope, there is not. Close victory, low casualties, auto-resolve it. Alrighty, and then occupy the place. As well, it is a yellow territory, but we will be keeping it. Next up, are these guys... Ooh, they are able to reach us here. These two could attack. Kind of concerning. If you march stance, you could join Kowal to keep him safe. Yeah, alright, Chameleon, you can keep Kowal safe. I think what we'll do then is we'll send Tic Tac to Montenas, which... Oh. You know what we could do? We could send him after these guys. Here's the problem, though. If there's a full stack at Montenas, and we don't know if there is or there isn't, we wouldn't be able to do anything about it. Alright, you know what? Do this. Go to Montenas, and let's see what's there. Ah, they have Warp Storm Doom Rocket. This is definitely auto-resolvable, but break Siege for a second. And now, make these guys run away from you. Which will prevent us from needing to protect Kowal, because the rest of them will probably be too far away from him. And I'm sure they will run from Tic Tac. There is no way that they fight him. Instead, we'll have Chameleon move up to Montenas. You can also continue... Oh. Oh, I wonder, is this guy stuck here? Like, can he move? I think he actually can't move. You know what, Tic Tac, don't move yourself then. And just stay in, let's say, Astromancy. And just sit there. And now they can no longer reach Kowal, who is safe. Chameleon, you're going to proceed to Montenas. Can't reach it, but it's fine. Let's put you into Astromancy stance yet again. And then we'll move there next time. Alrighty, looks like these Skaven are, if not done, very close to it. In fact, I'm curious, how many territories do they have?
No time.
6. Oh, wow, they have 6. So 1, 2, 3... 4, 5, I guess, Aquitaine, and all the way up here to Baston. We really need to try to quickly take Castle Carcassonne, however, because I know for a fact that they can jump from here to here, or is it here to here? I know that you can jump over these mountains, or underway stance over these mountains, which has me, let's say, quite concerned about the whole thing. Anyway, let's continue with our moves. Pyroxy, so your ambush was foiled. I guess you're gonna go for Castle Tempelhof. Yeah, so we want to trade this in such a way and that one faction has all the stuff. If we take Eschen and then we trade it to... I mean, I don't really care who gets what, I just want to make sure that everybody has the... Well, you know what, either way, it won't matter yet, but it will matter once we take Castle Tempelhof. Now, what is in here? Valiant of it... Oh, wow. Vlad has quite the nice army here. I see why we didn't attack before. You know what, maybe do a siege. It doesn't really help us in this situation. I'm just wondering whether it would actually be better to fight a field battle or not. The enemy fast movers and all of these Vargas just flying in is definitely going to be something of an issue for us. I'll think about it. Either way, we don't have time to fight that one now, but you can siege it and we'll see how they react to it. Are you guys really not going to try to help here? It would be nice to do a combined arms attack on this. But apparently you'd rather go north and deal with Draika? Why are you moving to Vitevo? You're not even at war with Draika. And Draika is in fact allied to a bunch of factions. Who is at war with Draika? Wait, I'm just out of curiosity. She's at war with Sylvania, rather, and allied with Stirland. She doesn't like us for being allied with everybody. I might still have to kill Draika. Anyway, I think with that we're pretty much out of time, and I will call this here. There's no other battles that we have time for, certainly not a major battle against Vlad where we don't know whether our fire army will survive. So next time, we will probably do the Vlad battle or end the turn there and see if they attack us in the field. We will continue moving through the Skaven territories up here while also continuing to move through the jungles. Gorok did a fantastic job at destroying Bordeleaux, and they should be pretty much done for, which means we will also start moving with towards Rakarth. Also, We have one turn left of the Confederation thing. Unfortunately, our relations with the Ghost of Pahwaks have dropped fairly significantly due to the -40 per turn, but maybe we can still confederate them. If not, maybe what we'll do is we'll send you down to Lashbar. I mean, no maybe about it. We'll send him down here and we'll probably detect Kairos, and regardless of whether these guys will join us, we'll take these territories and just start giving them to the Ghost of Pahwaks, hopefully with enough gifts so the massive rise in public order, up to like 300, will make them a lot more likely to confederate with us. I mean, that's the only way to do it. We shall see. Anyway, to find out if that works, well, probably not next time, but find out what battles we get up to next time. Stay tuned for more lizards. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.